is working now, then yeah, things are not going to, improve and continue on. So we're going to go ahead and jump in here. So just a few things we will be covering tonight is those who may not have heard, Facebook or Meta just made a massive change to how they deal with health-based businesses. That includes, unfortunately, orthodontists. So we'll be talking a little bit more about how that's going to impact our offices, impact our advertising, and what we need to do about it. We'll also talk about how you can clone your front desk without increasing payroll. So something really cool will show you. And lastly, we'll talk about a strategy that you can increase your new patient leads by 27%. So we'll go ahead and jump in here. And in addition, we're going to be giving away some free gifts. So more information on that at the end of the webinar. So for those who don't know me, I'm Dr. Tyler Coles. I'm orthodontist, and I've been the CMO at Premier Orthodontics, my practice here in Phoenix, Arizona. We have 6 offices in Phoenix. When I joined my brother's practice in 2012, we had just 2 locations. I helped him grow and market it. We grew our practice primarily through digital marketing. So that was everything from, I built the website from the ground up. I did our own Facebook ads, Google ads. I've done every sort of marketing you can think of, including postcards, radio, TV. So basically, I've done a little bit of everything. I found out what really works well for our office and our practice. And currently, 80% of all of our new patients come from digital marketing. So we still like it when we get patient referrals and when we can get referrals from dentists. Those are not as abundant as we would like. So we will show you some ways that you can grow your practice by using Google and social media ads. In last year in 2024, we did 2,247 new starts in my practices. And again, almost all of this was from Google and social media ads. We had over $10 million of production. So we've done a lot with marketing and attracting new patients. We figured out what works. And unfortunately, what worked last year is probably not going to work this year. So we're going to get into that and show you how we're going to deal with that and what we need to update. And for those who like to learn and do some of this on your own, we will be coming out with some books really soon. So it is our ultimate marketing book series. So I learned how to do marketing from marketers. I went and took all the courses. I took webinars. I took, hours and hours of marketing courses from marketers. Then I had to interpret that for orthodontic practices and orthodontic websites and orthodontic marketing, and not everything transferred over perfectly. So what I've done is I kind of took all that marketing knowledge I got that's out there and condensed it into easy to read, easy to understand information for orthodontists. And so these will be coming out. If you're on this webinar, you're probably on our email list. We will let you know when they're available. And yeah, especially for those who like to dabble and do some of this on their own, these will be super valuable and hopefully help you avoid some of the trial and error period that we had to go through. All right, so let's start with Meta's new restrictions. This was something we were not expecting. It just happened like last week. So they decided that for privacy's sake, any company that is advertising for a health or wellness-based business will not be able to track certain type of actions on the company's website. So what that means is when they click on an ad, they go to your website. What used to happen in the Meta marketing machine, Facebook machine, was people that got to your website, went and scheduled an appointment or filled out the form. We could send that data back into Facebook and say, this is the type of person that schedules appointments from Facebook ads. And so then Facebook would gather that data and say, okay, let's go find 500 more people to look just like this person. So it's super valuable data because we could say these people in my demographic, in my market, are those who click on ads, go to my website, and schedule appointments. And then it could optimize and get smarter and better and get more efficient over time. And so what they've done is they took away some of our tracking events, including lead, which is the one that we use like 99.9% of the time, unfortunately. We always want to optimize for leads because that's when somebody fills out the form. They also don't allow purchase events, which is not really going to affect us. That's more for e-commerce. And they're taking away add to cart events, which again is not really for us. So the biggest thing is we can no longer track leads within Meta. The only thing we can track now is landing page views. So before we could optimize for people that actually got to the end of the process, Now we can only optimize for people that click on the ad and get on your website. And so that's much less valuable, unfortunately, or we can optimize for engagement. So people that watch videos or click on ads. So yeah, this is going to make, unfortunately, advertising on Facebook much more difficult and probably cost a lot more and less effective. But there are some things that we're going to be working on to hopefully get around it. So this actually doesn't start until like this week, like, or actually I think Monday is the first day it's happened. So we're not totally sure exactly how it's going to impact all the practices, but it's something that we're going to figure out. But the good news is there are a few things that we're doing now that won't be impacted by this, that will still work even after this update.
Now, Dr. Tyler, I got a question for you. As practice owners, and marketers, if there's a marketing team with offices that are on right now, what do you suggest to offices with this new update? If they already have an agency that they're working with, should they contact their agency? Should they let them know? What is your suggestion if they already have someone they're working with for ads, whether it be in-house
Yeah,
or
I
an
mean,
agency?
definitely reach out to see how they're going to handle it. And like I said, because this is so new, most agencies are probably going to say, like, we're not sure yet. So, as far as how it's going to impact the performance of when they get to your website and convert, that's probably going to be the part that gets impacted the most. But the part that won't get impacted that we currently do is called Facebook lead ads. So, this is something that the difference is normally we would, or sometimes we'll send someone to our website and then we try to track the lead conversion there. If we keep that person on Facebook, we can track it there and optimize there without getting into the privacy issues. So lead ads are something that appears natively on the Facebook platform. They look like this. And so when they click on the button, rather than taking you to your website, it just pops up a form right inside the Facebook app. And then on that form, you can have your offer, you can have some qualifying questions. And so they can answer, qualify, see who it's for, kind of pick what day and time works best. And so the good thing about lead ads is there's no website restrictions because we're not sending them to a website. So we don't have to worry about the whole meta privacy issues they're trying to get around. We do have much higher conversion rates from Facebook lead ads because it's less friction. We don't have to take them off the platform. They're staying there. And most of the time when they click on the button, it pre-fills the information with the contact info they've already provided to Meta, so they don't have to type in their email. It already auto loads it. And so it's a lot less buttons to push. And then we found that pre-screening with custom questions, kind of like we showed you there, really helps to decrease the junk leads that might come through. So we make it just a little bit harder to get through where they have to answer some question and show a higher intent. We find that that makes it to where it's a better quality lead that we're getting. So good news is this strategy still works, and this is something that we're still employing. And for a lot of our practices, this actually is our preferred method over sending them to our website. Every practice, every demographic is a little different. But yeah, starting next week when all this stuff changes, we'll see if this is going to be the preferred method for all practices. We're not sure yet, but we will definitely find out.
Yeah,
So
I also want to share something real fast before I jump to the results. When it comes to the lead ads, typically, and like Dr. Tyler said, we have higher conversion rates because no one leaves the platform. It's all inside Facebook. When we used to run ads to websites, there'd be a high drop-off rate, and then people would be on the website for 3 to 5 seconds and then jump right back inside of Facebook because that's where they're comfortable at. So keeping people inside Facebook is a super, it's really valuable to keep them there where they're already comfortable because people buy when they're comfortable. If you think about our normal lives, everyday lives, we buy when we feel comfortable. If we take them outside of that platform, that chance of buying or purchasing or requesting an appointment goes down. So I just want to emphasize keep them in the platform with the lead ads is super helpful when it comes to converting. So sorry about that, Dr. Ty.
that's all right. So it does depend also, like some people's website is terrible, and so they probably convert better on Facebook than going to the website because the website might turn them away. If you have a really good high converting website, it sometimes is better than lead ads. So it's going to be a little bit case by case basis, but for those whose website is not good, lead ads will probably outperform your website. But me personally, my practice, I like my website, so it works really well, but we'll see next week how well it works. So these are some of the doctors that we work with, and so you can see their results. So lead ads work. We get a lot of leads, and yeah, that as far as cost per lead, that's usually much lower with lead ads using that route. So the other strategy we use in Ortho-Boost is called the Facebook chatbot. And you may have seen these. It's basically using Facebook Messenger, and it's a program bot where they interact with a bot. They ask questions, and so it does the same thing where it screens them. It asks them whether they're interested in braces or Invisalign, if it's for them or their child, how much they can afford. And so it uses what's called micro commitments. In marketing, we want people to take little tiny steps towards their final goal. And each little step they take, it makes it that much easier to finally get to the end. So we don't say like, schedule your appointment, put in your birthday and your social security number, like for the first question, because everybody will be gone. But we just ask little steps, guide them to that final decision, and it makes it much easier to get them to the end. So this still works because it is on Facebook. It is not taking them off. We don't have to worry about the privacy concerns. And this is very demographic and market dependent. This doesn't work in every market, but it's something that we test. And certain areas, this works really well having these chatbots running. They run 24/7. They chat with new potential leads, and then we can follow up with them later once we capture their information. So good news is we still have two tactics that haven't been affected. The other tactics, we will see how those are affected, but hopefully we'll figure out a strategy that still works. All right, so next big topic besides the Facebook update that they surprised us with last week. It is after hour scheduling. So in my practice, it was several years ago, we did a study where we looked at our call tracking report and we wanted to see how many phone calls we were missing before 8 o'clock when our front desk started answering phones during lunchtime hours when they would go to lunch, and then after 5 o'clock, and then also on weekends. And we found that we actually missed almost 20% of all phone calls when we looked at this. And so you think of that, even if those weren't all new patients, the number of new patient leads you're potentially missing is huge. So for our practice, we spend tens of thousands of dollars every month on Google and Facebook. And so to spend money to get people to my website and to call the phone and not answer is just like, burning your cash. So we implemented a system where we actually got a call center to answer phones starting at 7 a.m. And then they take turns of who's off during lunch. So that way they're always answered during the lunch. And then somebody stays till 6 o'clock. And then we also had a call center, um, an outside call center that would take calls 24/7. And so they would take it evenings, weekends. We had someone in-house answering 7 to 7 basically. And so even holidays, we would answer phones because we found, and studies have actually confirmed that 20 to 30% of all healthcare calls happen on Saturdays and Sundays. 11% of calls happen after hours. I found in orthodontic practices, most of them happen during lunch because if you think of our average patients, it's the moms that might be, working, and then when they get on their lunch break, they want to call to schedule the appointment for their kid. And if we're not answering the phone when they're off and they work 8 to 12 and then 1 to 5, and that's when we work, it's pretty hard to get those schedules mixed lined up. And then days such as Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, they are super high volume because people are um, off of school, off of work. And like I said, our ads are still running and still getting in front of these people. And so we needed to make sure that we were answering the phone. So
Yeah, and as you're taking a drink there, Dr. Ty, one other thing is spring break's coming up. Spring break is a huge time, and a lot of offices take 1 to 2 weeks off sometimes. I've seen even more than that during the spring break time, and it's really funny when offices are paying for ads and they're paying for marketing, but then no one's answering phones for 2 weeks. Imagine the volume of new consultation requests piling up in the inbox during spring break. So along with these smaller holidays are listed on the screen, spring break is also an awesome time to be able to capture those leads if you're paying for marketing. If you're paying for marketing, you want it to pay off. And so, having an after hours scheduling system is going to be your key to capturing those leads during holidays, weekends, and after hours.
but as far as the best way to do it, we hired 3 full-time employees to be in our call center. Plus, we had our after hours scheduling that we would pay per call. And so it was pretty complicated and it was not inexpensive either, but it was worth it because it was how we got new patients and how we grew our practice. So this probably isn't feasible for every practice of every size to try to do the same thing as we did. But the good news is there's actually a cool new system we're going to tell you about called an AI voice agent that basically does the same thing as my call center and my after hours call center that is insanely expensive. And it serves that same purpose of being available 24/7 so you never miss a lead. And they can be customized for your office. They're programmed to handle cost, timing, all the other objections. And then you also get the phone call recording. So these AI voice agents are pretty cool. We actually have a video, I think, that will help demonstrate how it works and show you what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and play this. I'll speed it up so it's not too long, but yeah, I think this will help demonstrate how it works.
Hey, my name's Spencer with Ortho-Boost. I'm going to go ahead and demo this AI voice agent that we set up for one of our clients. I'm going to pretend that I'm a golden lead that is calling in on a weekend or a holiday where an employee isn't available. And we're going to see how the AI handles this call.
This call will be recorded for quality purposes.
Hey, you have reached Premier Orthodontics. How can I help you today?
Hey, this is John Doe. I was calling in because I saw a Facebook ad about getting $500 off and was just wondering if I could take advantage of that.
Hey, John, that sounds like a great offer. Are you looking to start a new treatment with us?
Yeah.
Awesome. I can help you with that. Could you please provide your first name, last name, email, and phone number?
Yeah, John Doe, and my phone number is 801-900-1234, and my email address is johndoe@example.com.
Great. Thanks for that info, John. Are you the patient or a parent of the patient?
I am the patient.
Perfect. What's your main concern? Is it spacing, crowding, bite issues, or something else?
It is spacing.
Got it, spacing. Are you more interested in clear aligners or braces?
Ooh, which one's cheaper?
The cost can vary depending on your specific needs, but generally braces might be a bit more affordable. Would you like to go with braces then?
Yeah, let's do braces.
Great choice. Do you have insurance for orthodontic treatment?
No, I don't.
No worries, John. We can discuss payment options during your visit. What day and time work best for you to come in? Our Gilbert office is open until 6 p.m. today, or we have openings throughout the week.
Let's do this Friday at noon.
All right. So you get kind of the idea. So this is really works amazingly well, and it's only going to get better. So again, it fills in that void of all the times you need someone answering the phone, but your employees don't want to work evenings, weekends, or on holidays, or maybe take or work through lunch. And so this fills the gap, and it does it for a fraction of the cost. So it's awesome new technology. And again, like it's only going to improve
Hey, my
as
name's
we
Spencer with Ortho.
get used to it. So we already have a client using this, and he was our first beta tester, Dr. Locke. They said they're already starting to see a notable increase in new exams thanks to AI Assistant. It's been an amazing tool and saved the team a ton of time. So that's what we want to see. So this is something we're rolling out for clients, and we're excited to see how it works. Again, this technology changes every week, but getting in front of this technology, learning how to use it for our advantage, it's going to give us a competitive edge and hopefully maximize our marketing spend so we're not spending money and losing leads that we would otherwise get.
Yeah, and then can you go back to like the value of why voice agents perfect? Yeah, so with these voice agents, we've deployed these, we've tested it over and over again. One of the cool things is we take your exact intake forms. So a lot of doctors are hesitant, maybe a little bit scared about AI and how to use it in their practice. This is a great way to use AI. Now, sometimes using AI in other ways might distract from your actual purpose of starting new patients. Using AI in this way will help you grow your practice, help you gain more new patients by just simply being available. So we take your intake form, all your questions, commonly asked questions, like if you take transfer patients, cost, objections. We basically train it to be like your front desk. Act, speak, talk like your front desk, and it handles objections perfectly. It'll bounce off, it'll talk to the customer. It sounds very, very human-like. Sometimes people don't even notice the difference. And also it saves offices time. Dr. Locke actually deployed this during office hours, simply because his team wasn't available to get to some of the leads, and so he wanted to use it during office hours to capture leads, during lunch and times like that. So having this available 24/7, weekends, holidays, like I said, coming up with spring break, Martin Luther King Day, President's Day, all those days are going to be, awesome opportunities to schedule leads. If no one's answering the phones, you might be wasting money on marketing, right? But having AI voice agent ready and deployed, it's a fraction of the cost of an employee. I had the temptation to ask Dr. Tyler, I don't know if you want to share this or not, but when it comes to your call center, like give us an example of how much, a budget that you would say you put into that and compare that to virtually, almost free. You pay for communication costs and set up with this program. I don't know if you want to share that or not,
Yeah,
Dr. Tyler.
I mean, post-COVID, nobody wants to work for less than $18 an hour. So you can do the math. Full-time employee, $18 an hour, 40 hours a week, and you have 3 of them, plus, a room to put them in, the desks, the phones, computers. Yeah, it's not cheap. So rather than doing that, this is certainly a much less expensive and more affordable and quicker option too, because again, call center employees are about the highest turnover employee you can ever get. They come and go quickly. You got to trade a new one, all the time. So it's one of the pros and cons of humans.
Yeah, and one of the best things too I like about this is the AI voice agent will never complain. You're never gonna have an AI voice agent complain they're working too hard or it's too late or hey, I got to go take a break. The AI voice agent's always working. Also, it's gonna always answer and respond in a happy tone. You don't have to worry about training a front desk member or a call center member to have phone etiquette, right? This comes with it. It's pre-programmed, it's planned, it's radio out of the box. It works great. So I just want to touch on those few points as we talk about AI voice agents. Thanks, Dr. Ty.
Yep. So just kind of further speak on ways to not get leads. One of the things that we see so many practices do is when you get a lead, how long it takes to follow up. So my practice was guilty of this too. When I started running Facebook ads and Google ads for my practice, we were doing the same thing where we would generate leads on forms and I would have them all collected. We'd send them to our front desk girl at the time, and she was supposed to follow up. One day she just quit out of the blue. And so I went and accessed her Google email account. I looked and there was about 47 leads where the email was never opened and nobody had ever called those people. So you think of 47 leads times $4,500 per customer, how many tens of thousands of dollars was just sitting in her inbox because, it was too much work to open up the emails and to call them. And yeah, she was obviously the example of the worst case scenario, but even the best employees are going to get kind of bogged down with these new leads come in their email. And most of the time it's an interruption of their day where they've got a lot of stuff they got to do. They've got to greet the patients. They got to scan the insurance forms. They got to scan the insurance card. And so when 13 new leads show up in the inbox, those might get pushed off to the end of the day, might get pushed off till tomorrow. They might call them once, and then if they don't answer right away, they may never call them back again. So studies have shown that in the recent Harvard business study, that if you don't follow up with a new lead within 5 minutes, it's a 400% decrease in scheduling. So my practice and so many practices are guilty of doing it, in 4 hours or maybe 24 hours or 48 hours, or maybe not at all. There's 47 leads in the inbox that no one even touched. So this is a huge thing where, again, if you're paying for marketing, or even if you're not paying for marketing, if someone's coming from a dentist referral and you make it this hard to get a hold of, how many people are you leaving that just kind of lose interest? And so the same Harvard business study found that if you follow up 6 times, you are 90% more likely to make contact and schedule. So I would challenge you to find any front desk employee that follows up 6 times. I know mine certainly didn't back in the day before we got our call center. And then also the same study found that if you call the lead multiple times at different hours, so again, you call maybe in the morning, maybe at lunch, maybe in the evening, those are the times when people are most likely to pick up and answer. If you call at 2:30 in the afternoon, they're probably at work, they're probably at school, they're probably not going to answer. So having someone that can call and follow up with leads as soon as they come in, so as soon as they submit the form online, we want to call them within 5 to 10 minutes. If we can do that, we have a 400% chance of getting a hold of them, or we want to try multiple times throughout the day and in the next day. So that's the perfect case scenario. Most offices, most businesses don't do anything near this. So for so many clients, they say, well, I hired a marketing agency and they were terrible. All the leads didn't pick up the phone. None of the leads showed up. I couldn't get any leads. I didn't see any new patients. And I think some of that may be true, but I also think a lot of times marketing on Google and Facebook fails because the phone doesn't get answered. Because like I said, the phone is an interruption of our employees' day. They think their job is being at the front desk to greet patients, to schedule, and that is their job. And the phone or following up with leads is often an interruption of what they see as their job. New lead follow-up is kind of their second or third or fourth job and it's probably not their favorite job on the list either. And so team members, mine included, like to do everything but email or call leads. If they've got a to-do list, contacting the leads gets pushed to the bottom because it's not always the most fun thing to do. And if they do call them, they might call them end of the day, 4:30, call 5 of them up. They don't answer, hang up, and then, they never reach out to them again. And the study that we've mentioned found that most healthcare offices call back after 42 hours. So 2 days after the person, initially contacted the office. So again, AI voice agents are great to start this, but it's not going to replace humans entirely, unfortunately. We still need humans, and we need humans that can follow up quickly, efficiently, and on time. And we found in our own company of doing marketing for orthodontists that most offices have not been very successful at following up effectively. And then unfortunately, the blame gets put on us that your marketing doesn't work, your leads don't work. These people, I don't even see them in the office. What's going on? And this was the part that we couldn't control because we don't answer phones in their office for them at the time. And so this is what we came up as a solution is we implemented a system of scheduling coordinators. And I'll let Tyler talk a little bit more about our scheduling coordinator system.
Yeah, so about 3, maybe 4 years ago, like Dr. Tyler said, we were just running into a wall. A lot of offices would hire us. We're getting 60, even sometimes 100 leads a month. And we would call the offices excited, like, hey, did anyone start? And they're like, no. And they're like, well, did you see anyone? They're like, no. I'm like, what's your follow-up process? And one front desk member, I think even maybe office manager, was like, oh, we emailed the lead once. Just broke my heart, right? So we saw every excuse under the sun to just answer the phone, right? A lot of offices, it just wouldn't happen, unfortunately. And we're not trying to blame or pick on offices. Not the point of this presentation. The point of this presentation is to show that there's a better way, more effective and affordable way to follow up with leads. And so what we came up with is like, hey, we need to be the best marketing agency out there. We need to be able to actually help our clients. And sometimes marketing could become a headache, right? If we dumped 60 leads on your front desk or your office manager or whoever's following up the leads in your office, if we gave you 60 leads in a month, that would be overwhelming. Like all of us on this webinar would agree with that. Having 60 to 100 leads in a month, I would get overwhelmed and stressed too. Like if I had other tasks in the office, greeting people, baking cookies, handing out cookies and things like that, and checking people in, it'd be a lot of work. And so I understand their frustration at the front desk. So what we ended up doing was we went out of our way. We said, hey, to be the best marketing agency, we have to hire a call center type, team made up of treatment coordinators, office managers, front desk members, orthodontic team members who are looking to be, work from home and be able to schedule all day long. So we recruited some of the top TCs, front desk members out there in some of the best offices, some leading offices. We called them up, we recruited them to come work with us. We said, hey, this is a job role, and they were excited. Number one, work from home, and all they do is talk to patients all day long. They schedule patients all day long. And so what's really nice is all of our team members have 10 to 15 years of experience working in a dental or orthodontic office. So what you're getting with this program here is the ability to work with a team who's already prepared, ready, set, and ready just to deploy and follow up leads all day long. And so our number one job is to only call leads. That's all we do. We call and then we schedule directly in your software. Now, a lot of offices have questions like, hey, do you schedule in this software? We schedule in any software out there, cloud, server-based, the oldest software out there to the newest software just built, right? So we're able to schedule into any software. We call, text, email multiple times a day, for up to 6 days, which is really awesome. So we're calling constantly, being persistent, reaching out, getting people on the schedule simply because we call quickly. We call within a matter of minutes. As soon as a new lead comes in, our team members are on it. They call within a few minutes. We text them, email them, and then we do it all over again. They work early mornings, late evenings, during lunch, and some small holidays as well. So we'll rotate through some small holidays just because we know, hey, Martin Luther King Day is coming up. President's Day is coming up soon too. Those days are going to be huge for scheduling, right? If we're doing the marketing, we want our marketing to pay off. And so we've had offices schedule up to 17 new leads in one day on a small holiday. Imagine adding 17 new patients to your schedule, say on Martin Luther King Day. That's the power of having our scheduling coordinators work on those days. So they use your intake forms, they schedule in your software, gather all the insurance. Now, this is really cool. So we'll gather all the insurance. We have an intake form for our company. We ask your team, hey, what insurance do you guys accept? We go over all that. So when our team members are calling the lead, we could qualify them, get their insurance information, get a photo of their front and back of their ID card, and send that to your team. So we save your team a ton of time, a ton of energy chasing these leads. We get all that for you. And also just lightens your team's workload. Like every office that we implemented this for, every office has said, hey, it's such a relief that your team is handling all the leads. Now their office is going to focus on the patient experience, talking with patients, building out that patient experience in office, while we handle everything on the front end, getting the patient scheduled. And then after that, it's all your team, right? So it's a really easy system. There's really nothing to be scared of. We don't want to step on, whoever's following up with the leads. We don't want to step on their toes, but we're able to take this burden off your shoulders and really execute at a high level, calling within that of minutes, multiple times a day. So it's a really fantastic program. So we hired that team, and now it's just in sync with so many offices, and so many great things to say about it. So that was our solution. And in fact, I think we have on one of the next slides an example of the difference between our scheduling coordinators compared to other offices. So in 2024, we actually did a split test, and we said, hey, offices that maybe said they had a scheduling coordinator in-house, and like, okay, we'll let you work with that with our systems. We actually did a study where we found that our team scheduled 27% more new exams compared to front desk members in office. So imagine getting 27% new patient exams added to your schedule without doing anything. Like our team members doing all the heavy lifting. We're calling leads, we're texting, we're getting all the insurance information, we're doing all that, and it increased by 27%. This is like magic, right? If you could take your current flow of new leads, and add 27%, this is what it's doing overnight. And so it was a really fun study to see this throughout 2024 play out. We pulled these numbers at the end of last year. And we said, wow, this is a huge number. People need to know about this because overwhelming your front desk with say 60 to 100 leads per month, it may not get the job done. You may be wasting some money on marketing. Not everyone's going to be followed up with properly. And so we found this out, and I want to share this in this webinar with you because this is a really good example of how marketing and follow-up goes together. And if you want to go back to that previous slide, Dr. Ty, that'd be great. So how it all works, like I said, we get all the leads, right? So certain type of website leads, Google Ads, Facebook, Instagram, different lead sources. I've got offices running different lead sources. But anyways, we gather all those leads. It goes to our scheduling coordinator. Our scheduling coordinator will then qualify the lead, go over intake forms, send out intake forms if needed, gather insurance information, and then add it into your practice management software. So it's a really clean, easy way to be able to manage the new lead and get them into your software. A lot of times I tell offices, hey, don't be scared. Don't be hesitant about this. It's like adding an additional employee to your practice. It's like having a virtual assistant for your office, except for, they work out of state. They're in a different state working for you, but the goal is the same. And when they answer the phone or call the lead, they act and talk like your practice. We're not answering like Ortho-Boost. We're answering like your practice. We're calling as if we're an extension of your office, which is really cool. So fantastic program. All of our offices just can't, just highest ratings with the service simply because we're following up quickly within 5 minutes, multiple times a day.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, our system was hiring our own full-time employees and building out a call center to do this job. And this obviously is a much more affordable way to get the same results without having to have a full-time employee. So for a fraction of what a full-time employee costs, you can get all the benefits of having that full-time follow-up manager. So yeah, we kind of did a lot of information there. So I figured we'd do a quick pause and see if there's any questions so far. Does anyone have any questions or concerns with Facebook's new policy and how that might impact your practice? So feel free to go ahead and ask any questions in the question bar if there's anything that comes through.
Yes, I got a few, but we actually had quite a few people jump on after you went through this. Do you mind just giving a quick 30-second, 1 minute,
Sure.
description of this new policy, please?
Yeah, so Facebook's changing how health-based or wellness-based businesses can track user data. So previously, when someone would get your website and they'd fill out the lead form, Facebook would count that action as a lead, and then it would optimize your ads to try to get more of those. And so as your ads ran, and if you had all the optimization set up properly, Facebook's ads would get better and better at finding the right type of patient for your practice and finding patients who would convert. Now that ability to track leads when people convert is no longer available for health-based businesses. So unfortunately, there's going to be new strategies we have to employ that is going to take the place of that. And so we've already got lots of ideas of how we're going to do it. And this whole new thing is like starting on Monday. So we're going to find out exactly how it impacts everybody, but we've got already some good ideas of how we're going to manage it. So is there any?
Yeah, so I got one here. I've actually got 4 questions here. So what are some good tips or strategies to get more interactions and engagement on social media for ortho practices? We are an OSO of 30 locations.
So as far as organic social media, I will admit that that's not my strong suit. So there are people that are 1,000 times better than me at doing organic TikToks, dancing things, and getting a lot of people to engage. If you can do that, more power to you. I have never been able to do that consistently well. So I lean towards ads because I know I can create an ad and I know how to use the system to get them to my page or to get them to the lead ad and convert into a new patient. Getting somebody to engage, look at, watch my videos, we do that, and it's something that is part of our strategy, but it's not something that we rely fully on. So as far as like tips and strategies to get more interactions and engagements, I mean, you basically just need to be an entertainer, be someone that's very entertaining and make really entertaining videos, because as a business, you're competing against all the people that aren't businesses. And if your videos are as good or better than those, everybody else's videos, they'll get shown. If they're not, then they won't. So, if you look at the dentist or the braces guy or Sonrisa's orthodontics, Dr. Enrique Cruz, he's a buddy of mine. His video is amazing, but he would be amazing at TikTok no matter what business he was promoting. So unfortunately, with businesses, it's kind of pay to play, where if you want people to see it, engage it, and watch it, you got to put some money behind the platform because there's limited real estate, and Facebook's going to make you pull out your credit card if you want people to see your stuff, unfortunately. So that's the part that I decided I want to get really, really good at, was the paid ads. And the social organic stuff, it's kind of like you're either an entertainer or you're not, and I'm not. So I never decided to lean into that because it wasn't what suited me. But the good news is it's much easier, I think, and it's more scalable to do ads because, again, you can pay to show it to people versus you make a video, spend a lot of time and effort on this video, and nobody watches it, and then you got nothing for your efforts. So
Yeah,
I wish I had more strategies and tips. That maybe you're on the wrong webinar for.
I would back that up. I would just say the effort behind it. I've seen doctors get burnt out. I've seen team members get burnt out. I've seen, offices pay team members, all they do is go around and film videos, but get no engagement. We're in the wrong industry to get a lot of engagement. If you want to take a dancing class, that's something that I'd recommend, be dancy, silly, and goofy. 2 tips though that I think might help. I've actually seen this some offices is having events. When you run events, you could set up pages on Facebook and events and invite your community to those events. That could create engagement in your community. The second thing is having offers or giveaways paired with that event, or even just outside of the event, right? So say Taylor Swift is coming to your city or your town. You give away 2 tickets, you promote the heck out of that. You have your team members promote that. Everyone's going to share that and like that, right? So if you want to if you want to ride that wave of engagement, the best thing to do is pick something that is already super popular out there, right? So if you want to pick some Taylor Swift tickets and promote that, that's going to go pretty far because there's Taylor Swift fanatics out there, right? Your engagement's going to go through the roof, but then after that Taylor Swift concert, you might not have anything to lean on, right? So I would do events and have event marketing and have a page on Facebook and promote that. You'll get a lot of engagement, invite people, have a small carnival with some food out there as well. That might be something that would do really well. So it might be hard to organize for 30 locations, but in reality, ads would be the key for growth, in my opinion. So it's going to be super hard. So I want to back up Dr. Tyler on that. So the last 3 questions here. What is a chatbot? We talked about that. Someone mentioned, what's a chatbot? How can I set that up? And then the second, I'll just wait for that answer and I'll go into the other 3.
Yeah, so there is a third-party program we use called ManyChat, and it basically interacts with or integrates with Facebook Messenger. And so if you can see the screen here, it basically, you build out these chat bots within it, and it can be on Facebook or Instagram or WhatsApp. We basically just use Facebook and Instagram. And so you build in the interactions and you basically put in, questions that you're going to ask the person who gives them multiple choice responses. They click a button and then it takes them, depending on their responses, into the next set of questions. So it kind of walks them through initially meeting you into scheduling an appointment. And so it's all programmed into the chatbot. So it's not something you can do very effectively natively in Facebook ads. They do have like a very, very like basic version of this. But to do it right, to capture the leads, to do it the way that we we integrate it with this software. So it's something you definitely play with and try to figure it out. As part of our services, we just do it for you. So depending on how much you like to get into the weeds of this stuff, that is kind of how you do it. So
Yeah, and the service is about $10 to $15 a month. You can play around with it, build out your own chatbot. We already have templates that are proven to work. If you want those templates, feel free to schedule a call with me afterwards. I'd be happy to share some different templates with you and be able to share different strategies. I've got 2 last questions. These are really good questions here. So, how many offices does your follow-up team work with? And so, our offices, our team members, work with a limited or a handful of clients. We value getting to the leads quickly. We don't give our team members 30, 50 offices to work with because simply we wouldn't be able to get to leads ourselves. We want to be able to get the leads within a couple minutes. We want to be able to email, text, and keep all those chats organized. And also all of our team members are trained with those offices that they work with. And so at the end of the day, when they're going through the conversations, they want to be able to know exactly, they have their office that they work with. So overloading our team members, we don't want to do that. It's just a handful of offices. We keep it pretty small so that way they're able to give a good high quality result when following up. And the last question I think is pretty funny is how can I get started? So we'll actually jump into that in the next slide. And then if Ben is still here hey, go ahead and schedule a call. I could talk more about the engagement stuff on social media, but yeah, feel free to message me or jump on a call. I'd love to chat more about that engagement strategy. We don't do it with our agency to answer that first question, but I'd be happy to give more advice or suggestions too. So the last question is how we get started. So Dr. Tyler, you want to take that?
Yep. So again, how we can help. So our agency, we do Facebook ads, we do Instagram ads. This basically what I've done is I've figured out how these work in my practice. I'm always testing between 4 to 8 new ads every couple weeks. And we find the formula that works well for us, and then we duplicate that for clients. So like I said, next week, the ads are probably going to all be different because Meta just changed everything on me. So it's back to the drawing board. We're going to figure out what works in my practice. Once we've nailed the system, that gets deployed for all the clients. So we don't have to guess what's working now. We can actually test it in office and know this is the formula that's going to work most likely, or these are the options that might work. So we do the Facebook and Instagrams, the ads that I'm running. We also do Google ads. If you're not doing Google ads, that's like the lowest hanging fruit, easy ads you can do. So every office should be doing Google ads, period. If you're not, then you're missing out on, new patients and you just don't like money, I guess. Google Performance Max ads. These are really cool ads that we found work really well. Most people don't even know what they are, but basically Google owns, Google Maps, they own YouTube, they own the display network that's on like the little display ads all over the internet. They own Google Search, obviously. And so you provide Google with a lot of assets, and it puts your assets all over its network, and it finds what works best for your practice. And the good news is there's no privacy issue with Google yet. So they're fine with us tracking all the data. So Google Performance Max ads are pretty cool. They work really well. Like I said, we do the new lead follow-up and scheduling with our follow-up and scheduling coordinators. We have our new AI voice agent. So someone can answer your phone 24/7. We do all the monthly reporting. So we tell you what's working, what's not. And then we do provide a free software for lead management. So you can see the leads that are coming in your practice and track them all the way through to conversion to starting treatment. So you can get a true ROI and know how many patients you're actually getting in your office through your marketing efforts and how much you're getting as a return of your investment. And so how we're different at Ortho-Boost, like I said, we use the same strategies that I use in my practice. I have been in the weeds of doing marketing for orthodontists for 13 years. I've tried, like I said, everything. And what I did last year is going to be totally different from what I'm doing this year because everything has to change. And so they constantly have to be updated. And so that gives us our competitive edge. We are the only agency that I know of that does new lead, follow-up, and scheduling. So again, unless you want to hire a call center like I have and do after hours phone answering and then do that investment, I would say this is something that you need in your office. Otherwise, your marketing is just not going to work as well. And something that we offer is a ROI performance guarantee. We know that we will get a return on investment. Every practice is a little different. It might take us a little time to dial in the marketing for your area. And so what we're going to do if we don't get an immediate return on investment, we're going to work for free until we do. So we don't do a management fee until we've given you a return on your investment. So again, something that no other agencies do. We know that we're going to get results. Sometimes it takes time, so we're going to make sure we get there together. And when you compare our prices versus some of the competitors, on average, we're about $4,000 per month less relative to other companies. And most of those companies, by the way, don't provide follow-up either. So you're getting, similar services for really a fraction of what you'd pay elsewhere. So next steps, if you're interested in learning more, you can go to startorthoboost.com. If you go to the website, you can see here on the screen, there's a big red button that says Grow My Practice. You just click that and you can schedule a call with Tyler. He's going to get into all of the details as far as, costs, setup, timeframes, tell you everything you need to know as far as what to expect next. Request a free strategy call. And then also, if you request a strategy call, we will let you try out the AI assistant program for free. So again, you paid nothing. Normally this is a $9.97 value. You can try it free for 60 days to find out if it works in your practice. So this is something that we're not going to do forever. It's something that's like a new program. So we're excited to let everybody try it out and see how it works for your practice. So 100% free. You can do that. Just schedule a call with Tyler. And then also Stephanie, who's been working with me for probably 8 years, she does all my Facebook and Google ads now. She's in the weeds of like the actual campaigns, pushing buttons. We work together, but she's doing this like day in and day out. She will do a free Facebook and Google ads audit of your accounts. So 100% free. All you got to do is schedule a call and she'll go in and tell you how you can fix your Facebook ads, how you can fix your Google ads. Even if you don't hire us, we'll still do this audit for free and tell you where you're missing out on some opportunities. So she's the kind of the brains behind the ads management. I've done it forever, but she's the one in the weeds doing it day in and day out, and she can get you a whole ton of value. So again, all this stuff, 100% free strategy call, free AI assistant program, and a free Facebook and Google ads audit just for signing up for that call.
Perfect. Any other last questions that you guys have, feel free to message in or chime in. If you want to unmute your mics, go for it. Before anyone asks questions though, I do want to let you all know, I did post the AI voice agent phone number. This is huge. In this chat on Zoom, you're able to copy that number, put it in your phone and call the AI voice agent. If you want to demo it yourself, you want to try out yourself, test it to its limits, ask bizarre questions, go for it. The AI voice agent is 480-530-5133. This is our test bot that we have, our test AI voice agent. Feel free to call that number. It's available 24/7 like it would be for your practice. Go ahead and ask it questions. It's programmed that has all great responses. And then also I did link the link startorthoboost.com in the chat as well. So any other last questions? I didn't see anything pop up, but we really appreciate you guys jumping on. Anyone want to ask questions on you? I don't want to step on anyone's toes here. Give you guys a couple seconds if you guys have any questions. Cool. Well, we appreciate you guys being here. Grateful that you guys stuck with us a little over 45 minutes. We try to keep it within the 45-minute time frame. Super grateful that I have you guys here. We're here to educate, share resources. And again, that new Facebook restriction that's coming up, be sure to talk to your current provider. Make sure you guys are clear of that and make sure your ads are going to be working just fine. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to contact me. You can call us anytime, email us, or go ahead and schedule a call. But we look forward to hopefully talking with you guys soon and giving you guys all these free tools and resources, such as the AI assistant program and also the Google and Facebook audit. So appreciate you guys being here.
Yep. Thank you so much. We will talk to you guys later.
See ya.
All right. Bye-bye.